Thank you for joining us on Hanging with Mrs. Hayward. Today we are going to be doing a really fun alphabet literacy activity. So this is a really great activity that you can do with your early learners, and then it can continue to grow and challenge depending on the level of your child. So I still do this activity with Chelsea, and we just adapt it to where she is. So stay with me. Even if you think at the beginning it's a little bit easy, stay with me because I'm going to show you how to adapt it and challenge it. But I also want to show you this super cool resource that I got, and it's actually available on, it's actually available from Scholar's Choice. That's where I picked it up again. I really should get shares in Scholar's Choice because I absolutely love it. Shauna says it's just how you're getting used to in school. Yes, exactly. When you start school's scary for everybody. But imagine if you just came from a new country and you didn't speak the language and then you went to a new school. That would be pretty scary. So you're with a new teacher and you don't know what she's saying. So that would be pretty scary. I remember when I was teaching kindergarten and I had quite a few new kids coming into my classroom who had never been without their mummy forever, ever. They were lucky they didn't have to leave their mummy for anything. But they came to school for the very first time, and some of them didn't speak English because they were born in another country. So when they would come in, it would be really scary for them at first. So Mrs. Hayward had to work really, really hard to make them feel comfortable with me. And slowly they started to learn the language, and slowly they started to feel safe. So that's so, so important to remember. And so when you see some friends at school that might be crying or sad, you can give them an extra hug. You can sit beside them. You can smile at them because they might be scared. And you can be their safe, good friend. That is something that we can do to be kind in the world. And that's what Mrs. Hayward is always trying to think of. How can we be kind and how can we make the world a better place? And I hope that you are doing that too. Mrs. Hayward isn't perfect and Mrs. Hayward makes mistakes. But I always try my best to think of, what can I do? And I hope that you can do that too. I hope you can think about what can you do to make the world a better place and make the world a little happier. And Denver, you and your mommy did something super special for Chelsea. You and your mummy delivered some special signs for Chelsea's front lawn on her birthday, and it was a super surprise. And Mrs. Hayward didn't even know who did it. I was so surprised. And Mummy wasn't even going to take any credit for it, but Mrs. Hayward was a sleuth and she figured out who did it. So thank you so much for your special act of kindness. Okay, let's get started. All right. So I might need to play around a little bit with the camera. And my glasses are for reading, but from close, they're reading for close up. So I might need to take my glasses off to read from far away. Okay, so this is the pocket chart. This is the super awesome alphabet pocket chart. I love this pocket chart because it has a handy way of putting things into each of these pockets. I know I sound like I'm selling this, but I'm really not, I swear. I just wanted to show you how awesome it is. Can't see the bottom line. Okay. You know what? It's okay. You don't need to see the bottom line. It'll be up here. Whatever we're using will be up here at the top. That way at least you can still see me too. Because when I was on this side, you couldn't exactly see me. And also, if things are in the way, you can scroll your comments away so you don't have to see all the comments. And then you might see a little bit more of the screen. Okay? All right. So, in this super awesome pocket chart, what we have is some super cool things. So, I'm going to hide them back here so you can't even see what I'm pulling out. Okay, so what I really, really like about it is, so first I would put an object up on the screen. So this object, I want you to pop it down and tell me if you know what this object starts with, what it is. So in case you can't see, it's an apple. So what letter does apple start with? What letter does apple start with? It's an apple, you're right. What letter does apple start with? Good job, Zach. Apple starts with A. Excellent. Good job. So what is super cool about this is when you turn it around, they can check their answers on the back. So it actually says apple on the back. Good job. A mummy, A. Dylan says A. Ashana says A. Jaya says A. Excellent. It is A. And if you see, it says apple on the back. What also is really cool about it is they put the vowels in a red letter. So if the word on the picture starts with a vowel, they put it in red. Okay, so I'm going to give you another one. And I'm going to show you something else. Okay. So we had apple starts with A. Maybe I should turn it around so you can't see. I don't want to steal your fun. Okay, I've got some good ones for you here, boys and girls. Okay. And you can also, parents, if you don't have a fancy chart and you don't want to buy a fancy chart, you don't have to. You can find fun objects around the house. So just like that tray activity that I showed you before, you can do something very similar to that as well. Okay, so this one, here is my next object. Not sure if you can see that. Give me some likes if you can see from where I am. Just so I know. Can you, how well can you see that? It's an elephant. It's an elephant. Who can tell me what letter elephant starts with? What letter does elephant start with? Good. Good job, Zach. What letter does elephant start with? Mrs. Hayward has a sneeze. Excuse me. But I don't have the virus. That's another one of my funny jokes. Evelyn, I know you're laughing. Evelyn loves my funny jokes. Okay, Dylan said E. Denver said E. Alexis said E. Vincent said E. Excellent. You guys are so good at this. Ashana said E. Jaya, did you get it? Bless you. Thanks, Natalie. Okay, so I've got another one for you. You're right. It starts with an E. And I'm going to show you, again, if you turn around, there's the word elephant. And if you can see that, it's got a red letter at the beginning because it's a vowel. Vowel. So our vowels, boys and girls, are A, E, I, O, and U. And sometimes Y. Okay, here's another one. I am going to ask you, what letter does this start with? But then, here's my challenge question. Is it a vowel? And this is a rabbit. Hop, 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 hop. This is a rabbit. What letter does that start with? What sound does it make? And is it a vowel? We got to get those letter sounds in there too. What letter does that make? What letter does it start with? What sound does it make? And it is a vowel or a consonant. Pop your answer down below. Mrs. Hayward needs her coffee. And I got to use my coaster. Mrs. Hayward always uses a coaster. It's just good housekeeping. It's another joke. Very funny. Okay, let's see. What did we say? Alexis says R. Zach says R and it's not a vowel. Smart. Naya says R. Chelsea says not a V. Oh, not a vowel. Not a vowel. Okay. And Vincent says R and not a vowel. Yes. Okay. So if the letter is not a vowel, it's called a consonant. A consonant. So all the other letters are called consonants. That's super important to know. So all our vowels, let's do those again. They are A, E, I, O, and U, and sometimes Y. So if they're not a vowel, if they're not A, E, I, O, or U, and sometimes Y, then they are a consonant. And that's important to know because every single word has a vowel in it. Every single word. So that is important to know. Okay, Dylan says it's a consonant. Evelyn says it's a consonant. Excellent. Good job. Okay, I got another one for you. This is, oh, and let me show you something cool too. So the consonants they put in red so that the kids can become familiar with whether it's a consonant or a vowel. So if they turn it around to look for the answer, they put the consonants in blue. The consonants are in blue, the vowels are in red. So I kind of like that because that's great for teaching your vowels and consonants. Okay, this one is a moon. So, what letter does it start with? What sound does that letter make? And is it a vowel or a consonant? Pop your answers down below. You guys are really good. Good job, Dylan. Excellent. And parents, if your little one is answering like one of those three questions, that's okay. So this is why this is a good sort of range activity because they might be able to answer all three, they might not. That's okay. If they're only answering the letter, if they're only able to say it starts with an M, then you can reinforce the other two things and you can say, and the M says and the M is a consonant. So you can reinforce the other two things. And then maybe next time they might get that and remember that. Denver says M. Dylan says it's a consonant. Alexa says M. Ashana says moon and it's an M. Vincent says M and it's a consonant. Excellent. Everyone do the sound for the M with me. That's the sound that M makes. Great job. Excellent. Okay, I've got another one for you. This you need to open your door of your house with. It is a key. Can you tell me what letter key starts with? And can you tell me what sound that letter makes? And can you tell me if it's a consonant or a vowel? 3 things. Mrs. Hayward is kicking it up a notch today. 3 things. So let's put that there. I'm kind of liking it back here. If I started walking, I could get some steps in. Come on. Stop it, stop it. You're so funny, Mrs. Hayward. Okay. Chelsea says ka. Good job. Ashana says K. Dylan says K. Chelsea says like a C, but totally a K. Zach says K, and he says K is not a vowel, and he's correct. Naya said K. And Dylan says it's a consonant. So smart. You're right. It is totally a consonant. Totally a consonant. Okay, do you want some more? Are you liking this? Alexis says K is not a vowel. Good job. Excellent. You are so smart. Great job, Alexis. Send me some hearts and likes if you like this, if you're enjoying this activity right now and you would like some more questions. Do you want some more? Let me know. Because I've got some hard ones in here. Okay, I've got some hard ones. Are you ready for some hard ones? All right. Here we go. I got some tricky ones. This one, if you can see her, she is a queen. A queen. What letter does queen start with? What sound does that letter make? And is it a vowel or is it a consonant? Let me know. We're going to pop it down in there. Let me know. Miss Hayward is going to have a sip of her coffee. Good job. Excellent, Zach. Good job, Denver. Good job, Chelsea. You've got it. Good job, Dylan. Alexis says that Q is not a vowel. Zach says totally not a vowel. Naya says Q. Chelsea says not a vowel. Oh, I see Francis is here. Francis says Q. Hi, Lisa, I can see you today. Ashana says Q. Stevie says, or Dylan says, oh, I see you were doing the sound. Q is a tricky sound. So Q does like a, it's a tricky one. Queen. Q is a tricky sound to make. And you are right. It is a consonant, Dylan. And you're right, Denver. It is not a vowel. You guys are so smart. Wow. Francis says Q. Excellent. You are really smart. Okay, I've got another one. This guy looks like a cat, but he's not. He's a tiger. He's a tiger. What letter does he start with? What sound does that letter make? And is it a consonant or is it a vowel? Consonant or vowel. And you know what? If your little ones are already reading, like Chelsea's already reading, it's always a good refresher to go back through and remind them of the letter sounds. Because once they start reading, sometimes they kind of just read and they kind of forget, like, oh, I'm just doing this, but they forget to focus on some of those phonetic sounds. So doing a good letter sound activity every once in a while is great practice and review for your readers, because now they're going to be doing trickier words, especially if you have a grade 1 or 2 reader. They're going to be doing trickier long words, so they still want to be handy and quick with those phonetic sounds. Okay, Ashana says T, Naya says T, Francis says T, Stevie says, Dylan says consonant, Chelsea says t, consonant. Good job. Whoa, you guys are really good today. We have a couple more to do. I'm going to try to trick you. Do you think I can trick you? I am going to trick you. All right, here's one. This one's kind of hard, okay? This one is, Mrs. Hayward doesn't even recognize it because I don't use these. Another joke. This is an iron. An iron. You use it to get the wrinkles out of your clothes. But Mrs. Hayward does not know what an iron is because she never uses one. I want you to tell me, Sandra, you said me neither. Exactly. I'm like, I look for clothes that do not need an iron. Oh, you need an iron? I can't buy you. I want you to tell me, what letter does iron start with? What sound does it make? And is it a consonant or a vowel? Okay. Chelsea says it's a vowel. Zach says it's an I and a vowel. Awesome. Ashana says I. Dylan says I and it's a vowel. Hi Mandeep, if you're just joining us, pop your little one's name down below so we know who you're watching with and I can give them a shout out. Riley says I. Good job, Riley. Francis says I. You tricked him. I tricked you, Francis. Oh, I missed Naya's there. Alexis says I. It's a vowel. Evelyn says I. It's a vowel. Riley says it's a vowel. Ashana says vowel. Denver says I and it's a vowel. Yes, you guys are so smart. You're really, really good. Really good. If you're just popping on, don't forget to say your little one's name down below so that I can give them a shout out. It helps to keep it really interactive and keep them interested and engaged. Because we are on here for quite a while, so they're doing a great job. Okay, I've got another one for you boys and girls. Are you ready for this one? It's a bit of a trick too. This one is called, oh, you know what? Let me tell you, sorry, in case I wanted to tell you this one because this one was a tricky one. So this one is a vowel. It's not a consonant, it's a vowel, and it's iron. So this one is a long vowel. So it says its own name, iron, iron. So the sound that it makes is I, iron. So it says its own name. So that's an interesting vowel when they say their own name. Okay, this one is box, box. Tell me what letter does it start with? What sound does that letter make? And is it a consonant or a vowel? Pop your answer down below. Let me know. Boys and girls, you are doing amazing. You are doing amazing. In my classroom, I always tell my kids that my coffee is my happy juice, Mrs. Hayward's happy juice, because I don't function well before I've had my coffee. Zach says B. totally a B and not a vowel. Good job, Zach. You are on fire. Naya says B. Good job. Dylan says B, and it's a consonant. Francis says B, and it's a consonant. Ashana says box. It is a box, but what sound does the B make? Ashana, what sound does it make? Dylan says b. Good job, Dylan. You guys are doing such great reading today. I'm really, really impressed with you. So these great phonics strategies are so important for early reading strategies. So when they can use their phonics in their reading, they will become a lot more confident. And honestly, it just clicks. So if they're still sort of working through, just keep practicing those phonics strategies and keep engaging and exposing them to literature all the time, because it really just clicks one day. You would be amazed. You keep doing all these great reading strategies and it really, really just clicks. Denver says B with a B, and it's a consonant. It is a consonant. So if you said consonant, you are correct. It is not a vowel because vowels are A, E, I, O, and U, and sometimes Y. That's a good lesson for us today. We have learned about our vowels. We've learned about our consonants. We've reviewed our letter sounds and our letters. And so I think we've done a really great day of learning today, boys and girls. I am super proud of you. Give yourself a pat on the back right now for your hard work. Great. Okay, a couple things that you can do before we say goodbye, a couple things. So boys and girls, I've had some boys and girls already doing this and it's made Mrs. Hayward's heart so happy. So if you want right now or later on today, after lunch, you could do some pictures of some items and you could write the letter that they start with, and you could write if they're vowels or consonants if you're an older child. So if you are a grade 1 or 2, you could do vowels and consonants. If you're a kindergarten, you could do the letter and the letter sound with a picture. And then you can ask mommy or daddy to send it or post it up on Hanging with Mrs. Hayward. They can either send it to me and I'll post it, or they can post it themselves right on Hanging with Mrs. Hayward. And I will comment on your picture and give you some wonderful feedback. As well, all the other girls and boys, all your friends that are on here with you will also get to see your awesome work. So I love it. I love all the mummies and daddies that are sending me pictures, and I love posting them and sharing them. So thank you so much. Also, if you're watching, if you can do me a huge favor and follow me, click the follow button on Facebook and Instagram so that you don't ever miss a show. And also, if you can share, that would be great. Sharing is caring, but sharing just means that we can help to reach more parents and more kids. So this, again, like I said, this show is totally free. I'm not making any money off it. So if you can share, that would be great. Thank you so much for hanging with Mrs. Hayward. Mrs. Hayward is going to go now and finish her coffee. Bye.